Hello, everybody. My name is Phillip Jackson. I'm the CIO for Arctic IT, and I have with me Dave Bailey, our president. And Dave, today I wanted to talk to you and get your ideas about third-party VPNs, encryption, the importance, what people should be doing. Sometimes people in our organization and organizations that we're a part of ask me about these third-party VPNs. So let's talk a little bit about those and whether people should be using them or not, and what the importance of encryption.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. In business as well as personal use, I have a few friends that, over the years I've seen they're using a third-party VPN on their phone, and somehow they think that makes them more secure. But the reality is that any virtual private network that you subscribe to, whether it's on a PC or a device, if it's third party, you are specifically saying that all of the web traffic and everything that you do is going to go through that third party's filter. And they may or may not be located in the US. They can do anything they want with your information, and you have no way to audit what gets done with it, what gets stored, or what they see. There is no way for you to do that. So right out of the gate, from a corporate perspective, there is no way we are okay with anybody using a third-party VPN by policy, because we know that there's big security risks, right?
It's an element of it's an element of trust, right? So VPN started in corporate because I'm an employee. I trust my employer trusts me, and there's an element of trust to create that tunnel. When you buy a third-party VPN, most of them are out of the country, to your point. The legislation in the US doesn't apply, privacy doesn't apply, and they're capturing all of your data, and you have no trust. You paid them $3.99, and that's the only amount of trust you have with them.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. And really it boils down to a zero trust, component. It's one of those ingredients. If you try to have a zero trust policy, the encryption needs to exist between that website you're going to and really the session that you're in. For example, I'm on an Arctic IT computer. I need to go out to the bank.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to open up maybe a Chrome browser. I'm going to open up a bank session. That lock's going to pop up right on the top. And the encryption now is going to be on the traffic between that web session in my browser and my device, right? I'm in a session, it's encrypted, and there's a trust there. As soon as I close that browser and I close that session, the encryption is done. The connection to the bank is done, the transaction is done, and the trust barrier drops because I don't need it any longer. Outside of that, I'm working inside Microsoft 365, and I have my documents, my email, the team session that we're in, and there is an encrypted session that relies on a browser control behind the scenes in those applications, and the traffic between us is encrypted. So a VPN, once you move your stuff into the cloud, really becomes a point in time use case in the session that you're in, and it doesn't exist between you and any formal network other than the third party you're touching. Right. So I'm not a fan of the third party VPN. I think it definitely exposes your information in ways that you can't control or even audit. And with that, I would say no to the third party VPN.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. It's really important, and like you said, what you said, you can't control it. You have no idea what's happening to that data, and so you should really not. Really, there's not much use for those third-party VPNs. They don't make you any more secure. If you're using a bank, you have that encrypted tunnel already, so that no one can. What encryption just means is no one can snoop on that data, right? They can't see anything that happens inside of there. As opposed to if it's unencrypted, it means it's plain text, and someone could open a packet and see everything that's in there.
The thing that drives me nuts about it is you put that third-party VPN client on your phone, like I see a lot of people do.
Yeah.
What they don't realize is that gives that third party a point-to-point virtual private network tunnel to all of the content on your phone.
Right.
Everything.
Yep.
You don't even have to okay it. They have a network connection live to your phone, and I don't know how that makes you feel safer. I just don't.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Dave. I appreciate your time today.
All right. Thank you, Phil.
Got a technology question you need an answer for? Send us an email at connect@ardicit.com and your question might be featured on the next edition of Ask Dave.